Claire versus the Flying Saucers. Written by Charles Dunn. Illustrated by Martiano Album. Narration by Fifi's Bookshelf. Claire didn't really mind when the flying saucers arrived. People still needed milk and butter and cream cheese. Being conquered by Martians didn't change that. And she didn't mind when they started borrowing things. A dentist here, a cornfield there. The Martians are probably curious, she thought. Anyway, they usually bring them back. They kept Claire's boring math teacher for only 2 days. She was surprised they wanted him that long. Fishing boats, chicken coops, radio towers, even trucks of soda, though they never brought the soda back. Maybe because the Martians couldn't have it where they came from. Without gravity, a fizzy soda becomes a fizzy rocket, and rockets indoors are never a good idea. Claire's life changed when they took Betsy. She wasn't just a cow. She was patient and kind and good at listening. She was a cool breeze, hot chocolate, and Sunday morning all rolled into one. What if she's alone? Claire worried. Or they put her in with lions by mistake. Or math teachers. What if the Martians never bring her back? Claire went to the police, but they just shrugged. All you can do is go home and wait, they told her. No, you go home and wait, she shouted. Claire realized later that's just what she didn't want. The mayor, the city manager, and the dairy council were no help either. Keep your eyes crossed and hope for the best, they suggested. Or was it fingers crossed? Either way, Claire had stopped listening by then. Claire wasn't a sit-around kind of girl. She finished homework early. She took her plate to the kitchen without being asked. Sometimes she even put her socks in the laundry before they got dirty. Claire knew where there was soda, there were Martians. Sure enough, there was a flying saucer in the grocery store parking lot. Claire knocked politely on the side of the ship. The force field knocked back, and Claire went bouncing across the pavement. She couldn't tell if her pride or her bottom hurt more. She yelled words at the ship her parents definitely wouldn't approve of. She threw rocks, she almost kicked it, but then remembered her bottom. The Martians ignored her. Would they trade for Betsy? Claire wondered. She didn't have an extra cow though, and she doubted they'll take her math teacher again. She could try to sneak in. Claire called a few stores. No one had a cow costume in her size. She didn't know anyone brave enough to be the back end anyway. I could force the ship open, Claire decided. She asked to borrow the farmer's tractor. Absolutely not, her mom said firmly and put the keys on a high shelf, her mom explained. 1. Claire's feet didn't reach the pedals. 2. It was almost dinner time. And 3. She'd be really sad if Claire got vaporized. Claire rode her bike to the hardware store. Do you have any flamethrowers? No. Battering rams? No. Dynamite? No. Well, what do you have? She asked, frustrated. Paint. 2,244 colors of paint. They could make even more if they mixed different ones together with the paint shaker. Claire didn't know how to paint the Martians into letting Betsy go, so she left empty-handed. Claire flopped down on the curb. It wasn't fair. The Martians got everything. Betsy, the earth, all the soda they wanted. She wiped away her tears. She couldn't do anything about cows or planets, but soda was a different story. The manager looked at her funny when she asked for every root beer in the store. The Martians need energy, she explained. They're half as tall, so they have to walk twice as fast. She made that part up. One at a time, she ran the sodas through the paint shaker. Claire wheeled the root beer to the ship. The Martians bobbed up and down eagerly when they spotted them. It must have been like discovering buried treasure, only without the searching, finding, and digging up. Claire giggled, thinking of the mess it would make. The flying saucer lifted off as Claire turned to go, but then there was a stupendous whoosh. Like someone filling a water balloon from a fire hose. She heard a stretching sound and the force field popped like a soap bubble. Stepping around drippy and confused Martians, Claire searched the ship until, Betsy! Her cow was in a pen with 2 horses, 1 chicken, and a bus driver who shouted at Claire once for standing in the aisle. She still let him out. Word spread and soon everyone was shaking up their sodas. It wasn't long until the Martians were forced to leave. The world was saved. More importantly, Betsy was home, still smelling like root beer. It made the reunion even sweeter. The hugs were kind of sticky, which made it harder to let go, but Claire was never good at letting go anyway. So she didn't really mind. The end.